Good evening, everybody. This is Rob Johnson with the Spotlight Media Network, coming to you from the Louisville Fire Station as we are here for Louisville City Council meeting for February 2nd, 2026. We will be getting started here in just a few minutes and get you all the news and information for the Louisville City Council. We'll be back in just a few minutes. This is Spotlight Media Network.
Hello. Did you know that when you invest in your smile, you're investing back into your Stark County community? Welcome to Thomas Dental. My name's Tanya. I'm Dr. Mike's practice manager. Every day, we're investing back into our community. Here are just a few of our community efforts. Here at Thomas Dental, our mission is bringing smiles back to our community, one smile at a time.
Hello everyone, I'm Tegan Evans. As many of you know, when the Louisville Herald moved on into retirement, the city of Louisville, Nimishillen Township, and all of its community members were left with a void. The community lost its ability to hear about local events, news, information, sports, and community projects. We lost the ability to come together for Louisville's betterment. Well, we have a solution for you, Spotlight Media Network. Spotlight Media Network is a place anyone can go, whether it be social media, YouTube, or our website, that will display information in different formats to show the best Louisville has to offer. One last thing, if you have something newsworthy or something you would like the community of Louisville to hear about, send us an email at spotlightlouisville1@gmail.com. So if you want to see what is happening in Louisville or the best Louisville has to offer, check out Spotlight Media Network, where we know Louisville is #1.
Are you looking for a quality pre-owned vehicle with a great price? Then check out Ted's Auto Sales. Ted's has a great selection of vehicles and will find you the right one that fits your needs. Ted's was founded on trust, integrity, and respect, and has been serving in the Louisville, Ohio, and Nimishillen Township area for over 65 years. So call Ted's today at 330-875-9401. Ted's Auto Sales, Louisville's premium pre-owned dealer.
They're looking, they get it into Barnett, he's going to turn and run, he's going to shoot it. Leopards win! Leopards win! Leopards are state champions, baby! We gon' run this town. And we're back, getting ready to get started here at the Louisville City Council meeting. We'll be starting here in approximately 2 to 3 minutes. So we'll have things kicked off, ready to go, and get you informed. Again, this is the Louisville, Ohio City Council meeting.
At 6 o'clock, I'd like to welcome everyone to the Louisville City Council meeting on Monday, February 2nd. We will start with a public hearing on amended ordinance number 26-04.
Ordinance authorizing the city manager to enter into a purchase agreement with Sarshone Ford for the acquisition of a 2025 Ford F600 for the Public Works Department.
Is anybody here to speak on ordinance number 26-04? Okay. We'll call this meeting to order, and I'll ask for a motion to approve the February 2nd, 2026 meeting agenda.
So moved.
Second. Let's go ahead and vote.
Alciente,
Yes.
Cadone,
Yes.
McAllister Atkins,
Yes.
Mills, Street.
Yes. Please bow your heads for a moment of silent prayer. Amen. Please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Roll call?
Aljansen.
Here.
Gadone.
Here.
McAllister Atkins. Here. Mills. Street.
Here. And please let the record reflect that Councilmember Mills is ill and unable to attend tonight. Okay, we have a certificate of an open meeting, and I'd ask for a motion to approve the minutes from the January 20th, 2026 council meeting.
I'll make that motion.
Second.
Okay, we'll go ahead and vote.
Aljansen.
Yes.
Gadone.
Yes.
McAllister Atkins.
Yes.
Street.
Yes. Okay, we have a Mr. Phillips that requested to appear before council. Since it's not an agenda item, we will have him speak at the conclusion right before new business. And we'll move along to amended ordinance number 26-04.
Being an ordinance authorizing the city manager to enter into a purchase agreement with Sarshon Ford for the acquisition of a 2025 Ford F600 for the Public Works Department.
I'll make a motion. Amended ordinance 2604, the table for its second reading.
Second.
All right, Mayor, this ordinance is amended. Originally, you authorized the purchase of a 2026 model truck, but Darrell was able to find a 2025 still new model truck for about $4,000 less. So we've opted to go with that because, of course, it's cheaper and it's available now versus when the 26 might be available.
Good job.
Great.
Gonna be happy with that one, Darrell?
Same options, same everything. So yeah, we'll be good.
Just available now.
Available now, sitting on Sarshon's lot.
That's 126 miles.
Right.
What the heck?
Great. Let's go ahead and vote.
Aljansen.
Yes.
Gadone.
Yes.
McAllister Atkins.
Yes.
Street.
Yes. I'll make a motion, we suspend the rules to pass ordinance number 26-04 by emergency.
Second.
Aljansen.
Yes.
Gadone.
Yes.
McAllister Atkins.
Yes.
Street.
Yes. Now it's ordinance number 26-04 is duly passed and enacted. Let's move on to ordinance number 26-07.
Being an ordinance authorizing the city manager to enter into an amended contract with CCI Commercial Construction, change order number 9, for the second rebid Aljancic Park restroom renovation project, original contract authorized by ordinance number 2549.
I make a motion we pass ordinance number 26-07 by emergency.
For a first reading.
First read. Thank you. Second.
All right, Mayor, so this ordinance is the 9th change order with the contract that we have with CCI, who is remodeling the restrooms at Aljancic Park. This particular one, which is a cost of $1,440, allows for the, I'll call it electrical infrastructure that's necessary for the hand dryers. We're not real clear why this wasn't originally called for, but in the end, we do have the electrical hand dryers and we need this infrastructure to support them.
And I was going to ask, was the electrical hand dryers part of the original design? We just didn't have the...
That's what we're not real clear. We think they might have been paper dispensers originally. Typically, with a contract, you have a design contingency fund to pay for things like this. I don't know if we ever learned if there was a design contingency fund, but at any rate, it comes from the same pot of money. So we prefer the electric hand dryers over the paper ones for obvious reasons, and that is what ultimately we'll have with this change order.
Okay. As long as they're good, as long as they blow. Really, nothing worse than a bad electrical hand dryer. But I guess you're at the splash pad, so.
Oh, wow. It's going to give use.
That's what it is. All right, let's go ahead and vote.
Yes.
Gadone.
Yes.
McAllister Atkins.
Yes.
Street.
Yes. I'll make a motion, we suspend the rules for emergency consideration of ordinance number 26-07.
Second.
Okay. go ahead and read it again, or vote.
Aljansic?
Yes.
Gadone?
Yes.
McAllister Atkins?
Yes.
Street?
Yes. Okay, go ahead and read it again.
Okay. Being an ordinance authorizing the city manager to enter into an amended contract with CCI Commercial Construction, change order number 9 for the second rebid Aljansic Park restroom renovation project. Original contract authorized by ordinance number 2549.
I'll make the motion that we pass ordinance number 2607 by emergency.
Second. Aljansic?
Yes.
Gadone?
Yes.
McAllister Atkins?
Yes.
Street?
Yes. That passes ordinance number 26-07, duly passed and enacted. Moved on to ordinance number 26-08.
Being an ordinance authorizing the city manager to enter into a purchase agreement with Zoll Medical Corporation for the acquisition of 3 heart monitors for the fire department.
I'll make the motion we pass, or we bring to the table ordinance number 2608 for its first reading.
Second.
All right, Mayor, so Daryl's not the only one saving us money. In the 2026 budget, there was $120,000 appropriated for 2 heart monitor / defibrillators for 2 of the ambulances. All 3 need to be replaced, or we wanted to replace, but we did put one off until 2027 for budget purposes. However, Chief Bordner was able to work out an agreement with the manufacturer to not only give us all 3 of them at about a $3,500 per unit reduced price, but also essentially to finance it over 5 years at, I guess, what amounts to 0 interest. There's no financing charge. So the $120,000 that was originally appropriated for the purchase of 2 will be used to make the payments until that money runs out. And then probably in next year's budget, I imagine we would make the appropriation to make those remainder of those payments. All 3 of these units we would have been buying anyway because they need to be replaced. This allows us to do it all at once and simplify things without spending the money up front. And we're asking for it by emergency for obvious reasons.
Appreciate your work on that, Rod.
Thank you.
Yes.
Also, the information that you gave, just doing a little bit of research on these units, there's some technology built into them that goes above and beyond what I would have ever guessed that they're capable of. And I talked with Rod a little bit about, and I actually forwarded this information to my daughters because they both have a lot of children. And the one thing that I thought was interesting was these pediatric pads when they're connected to the unit and you take the pads off for the adults, it automatically knows that you're working on a child and it drops the energy level for these defibrillator monitors. And it's just small things like that that we're offering the citizens of Louisville that a lot of other communities don't have. So, and I appreciate that too, the information that you gave me on what the capabilities.
Yeah, they're tremendous units. Zoll's is a real good unit. That's Zoll's all that's in the hospitals, so they'll be able to be compatible with them, the pads and stuff too. So.
Right on.
Great. Any other questions?
Sounds good.
Okay, let's go ahead and vote.
Aljansic?
Yes.
Gadone?
Yes.
McAllister Atkins?
Yes.
Street?
Yes. Make a motion, we suspend the rules to consider ordinance number 26-08 by emergency.
I'll second that.
Let's go ahead.
Aljansic?
Yes.
Gadone?
Yes.
McAllister Atkins?
Yes.
Street?
Yes. Okay, go ahead and read it again.
Being an ordinance authorizing the city manager to enter into a purchase agreement with Zoll Medical Corporation for the acquisition of 3 heart monitors for the fire department.
I'll make the motion that we pass ordinance number 2608 by emergency.
Second.
Aljansic?
Yes.
Gadone?
Yes.
McAllister Atkins?
Yes.
Street?
Yes. Ordinance number 26-08 is duly passed and enacted. Ordinance number 26-09.
Being an ordinance of the Council of the City of Louisville, Stark County, Ohio, amending and revising associated ordinances as herein addressed in Chapter 157 of the Codified Ordinances of the City of Louisville relative to the employment provisions of the employees of the city, not otherwise covered by or in conflict with provisions found in the most current collective bargaining agreement with the Ohio Patrolmen's Benevolent Association, the Firefighters Labor Union ASME, local number G555, Louisville Utility Workers Union of America, AFL-CIO, or employment contract.
I'll make the motion, we bring ordinance number 2609 to the table for its first reading.
Second.
All right, Mayor, so we're back to Darrell saving us money. So when we negotiated a contract with the Public Works Union, what we did was create a second classification of employees. The current existing operators are pretty highly credentialed in the sense that they have CDLs, they can operate heavy equipment. They can do a lot of the more technical work that needs to be done in the service department. In Darrell's estimation, and I tend to agree, not all of them need to have that level of credentialing. So what the plan was, and we're now starting to meet out, is that as people left the department, rather than hire operators, we would hire laborers at a reduced cost with less credentials until we get a balance where we're just right and spending essentially the least amount of money that we need to for the service department to effectively function.
Opportunities for these laborers to move up?
Sure. If the labor, the operator positions become available and they secure the credentials that they need, absolutely.
Is this the position I saw we were advertising?
We advertised for the civil service testing, so these will be civil service positions, and we have to go through the civil service testing process. One of the positions was actually created in the 2026 budget in the Parks Department. That one has already been filled. These two are for, and there was no operator in the park system. These two are for operator positions that are vacant because of people that left.
Okay.
Okay.
That was good. Nice work, Darrell.
Thank you. Okay, let's go ahead and vote.
Aljansic?
Yes.
Gadone?
Yes.
McAllister Atkins?
Yes.
Street?
Yes. All right, that brings us to new business, and I'd like to call Mr. Phillips up. He had asked to speak after the deadline, so you have 3 minutes to address council. And just let everybody know a change that I thought I've seen other local governments do and that I thought would be helpful is if it's something pertaining to something that's on the agenda, we'll have the public speaks at the beginning. Because then when it comes up on the agenda item, that's when we can address it and have a conversation. Because it creates a weird dynamic when you have people speak at the beginning, but then you don't discuss it until
Right, yeah.
new business, that it's like a long time where there's a lag. So that's why if it's something not on the agenda that they're asking to speak about, we'll have them speak under right before new business, and then we'll have a chance to have discussion right after. So go ahead, you have 3 minutes.
So real quick, landlord just bought here in Louisville back in August, started investing in Louisville, and discovered that Kimball has the authority to bill us based on property transfer. So they can just send me a trash bill. You guys are the only ones operating that way. Believe it or not, East Canton's not that way. Massillon's not that way. Massillon actually has it hedged with Republic, but you still have your own options. But the places that do automatically force you to have their trash service, like the city of Canton, they bill it on their own. Now theirs is separate from water sewer because that's how they work it, but it's city. Other places like North Canton and Alliance, they have hedged with Kimball, just like you guys have, but the trash bill comes with your water and sewer. You guys are giving Kimball the authority to open accounts in people's name. They send you the paperwork, whether we choose to sign it or send it back or not, we're automatically getting billed. We're automatically enrolled in their program. And I feel to be automatically enrolled in their program, the trash bill should come from you guys themselves. Now I've sent council an email and I talked to Street before. You guys upgraded your software to be able to bill the trash with the water and sewer. That was a waste of money if we're not gonna use it. And so I'm here to kind of talk about that because nobody's happy with it. You can see it from social media. I understand a lot of people haven't come to talk to council, but a lot of people have talked about it on social media. And a very simple, easy fix for it is putting it all together. It's a really simple thing. And again, Louisville's the only one that's forcing you to take it, but not pushing the bill through them. So it's a topic I was told to be able to get you guys to entertain it. I had to show up and talk about it, and I just would ask the city if they could please look into that, look into how other municipalities are doing. Like I said, Alliance and North Canton both have contracts with Kimball, and they both bill that way. And I also know one of the reasons you didn't do it is because you don't want somebody's water bill to get shut off if they don't pay their trash bill. Now, that easy debunking is if you send somebody an invoice and they partially pay it, do you go through and pick line items that partial payment goes to? Or do you just apply that partial payment to the invoice? And the answer is you're gonna apply that partial payment to the invoice, and the person's water is gonna stay on, whether they short pay the bill or not. Their trash getting shut off though, Kimball's gonna keep picking it up, but at the same time, the city of Louisville, you have nuisance inspectors, you guys go around looking for that, so there should be no forced into it. It should be an optional thing, or the easy way to do it is like the other municipalities have, enforce it in the water sewer trash bill. Okay, thank you very much. Andy, do you care to respond to that or kind of share where we're at?
Sure. If you remember when the issue of the single hauler was first brought before council, there were a number of things that the community and people on council did not want. So that first attempt died by vote. The not having the bill attached to the water and sewer was one of the things that the council at the time, based on feedback, wanted to do, not have that connected to the bill. So that is one of the changes that was made in that process, was that Kimball would do the billing, and then surprisingly, it was actually more expensive if we did the billing. If you looked at the Kimball bids, for us to do the billing, it would cost more than to allow Kimball to do the billing. And I understand your comment about the software, but that's not why that software was upgraded. It wasn't to add trash billing to it. That I don't know that was even part of the landscape when we upgraded to the software that we have now. But at any rate, at the time, that was the position of council, that based on feedback they had received, they did not want to have the sewer, or the trash bill rather, tied to the water and sewer bill.
Yeah, and I know since then we've got, two new members of council, so I really, when Mr. Phillips had reached out, I just encouraged him to come speak and just kind of hear, what you guys thought. I was in favor of it either way. Like, to me, I set things up on auto draft. The fewer bills, the better if you put it together, but that was, I think when it was originally proposed, we were told, when it died, it was cheaper to do it that way. But the second time when we went and built it, you had shared that it was higher. And I don't know, one question I had is I didn't know if that's something that would have to be changed at the end of the contract, if that's something that even could be looked at.
If it
in
was
the
going
meantime.
to change before the end of the contract, Kimball, of course, would have to agree to it, because those are the conditions of the existing contract. So they would have to agree to change those terms, which could potentially, based on the bids that we got, cause an increase in the trash service. They could very well say, sure, we'll do this, however, the rates, you need to agree to change the rates as well.
Was it considerable?
I don't recall, I'd have to look.
And, I mean, also, there's no other trash service that you can get, right? I mean, you have to go with Kimball, so.
Correct.
And so my question will be is, did we talk to the city of Alliance? Did you guys talk to the city of North Canton to see that? Because I can also tell you, on the breakdown of my water, sewer, trash, which I'd gladly bring in, it's cheaper in Alliance than it is in Louisville.
Well, is that because
That's all based on capacity
Yeah.
and the number of units they do in the bids, and
it's just bigger? So it's economies of scale thing, I would think?
Oh, absolutely, and the number of, residences
Yeah.
that, but yeah, the price that we received from Kimball at the second bid was a little bit more than the first bid, naturally. But as best we could tell through research, was cheaper than what anybody in the city was paying at that time for their trash service.
It's not even close.
Right, in some cases substantially less. I had Kimball and my bill dropped in half.
That's it.
Would we be able to get that information as
We-
far
we
as,
could-
and
we
maybe
could-
at least have it to present, like what the cost difference would be if, to do something like that, and if it was even an option mid-contract?
We can find out from Kimball if it's an option, and if it is an option, what the increase in the service would be.
At least have the information.
Yeah, that's, and I never understood, I know that's what they came back at, but I never understood why it would be cheaper,
It was surprising to us as well.
you know, compared to, for a company to have a municipality collect and write them a check, seems a lot better than a whole,
Individual.
you know,
Right, it was-
thousands
it was
of
really-
individual customers and dealing with it that way. But I'm open to it. I don't necessarily, I wouldn't want to do it if it would add, you know, significant cost, but I'd be open to considering it if you want to bring that information back
We can get
whenever.
the information.
Okay,
Sure.
all right, thank you. All right, and Andy, the floor is yours.
Well, there's just really one thing I want to discuss, and that is the upcoming goal session session. So in looking at department heads' vacation schedules, training schedules, when they'll be out of town or out of the office, and in talking with the mayor, it looks like the week of June 15th works internally for everyone, it works for the mayor, and so I wanted to find out if that was something that worked for the remainder of council. 2 days that week. Ideally, it would be, I think from our perspective, a Thursday and a Friday. So the end of the week of June 15th, if that, again, works for the remainder of council.
Thursday, it has, I mean, you really set on Thursday and Friday?
No, it doesn't have to be. It can be whatever 2 days you prefer, whatever collectively council prefers.
Thursday of that week is Juneteenth.
Friday. Friday the 9th.
Friday, I'm sorry.
Friday the 9th.
Friday is Juneteenth,
Yes.
so there you go. It'd be Friday.
I mean, is that week though, I mean, what about, even if it's midweek,
It's
16th
entirely,
and 17th?
entirely up to you guys. I did
And
forget about
kids haven't took
Juneteenth.
my vacation yet, so.
I'm free all week.
I'm free all week.
Except right now.
Well, is like Tuesday, Wednesday better than a Monday, Tuesday for you?
Monday, Tuesday, I could, would be.
Because we got council on that Monday.
Oh, I got you, yeah.
So, you guys tell me.
I mean, so what were you saying? Oh, yeah, so we have a council meeting on June 15th.
Yeah.
So were you thinking 16th and 17th?
Yeah, it doesn't matter to me, Monday, Tuesday, or Tuesday, Wednesday.
I'm okay either way.
I'm okay either one.
What would be better for staff?
Staff is entirely available that week, so.
We'll be working.
Would, yeah, I guess it just depends on whether, if you're okay with having goal setting during the day and council meeting that night, and then knock it all out.
Sure,
Yeah.
we can certainly do that.
Monday,
15,
Tuesday then,
Okay.
goal setting.
Works for me.
And then we have, so Monday, Tuesday, then, the 15th and 16th. I have had some conversations in a meeting with a facilitator from Pradco. I think council has always been happy with Pradco's work.
Yes.
So, in the absence of any opposition, we would contract with Pradco for facilitation services. And then in terms of format, in our conversations, what they recommended based on what we wanted to accomplish and where we were at was in the morning of the first day, do team building and communication strategy session with council. That afternoon, have the department heads do their presentations and whatever conversation you'd like with department heads the next morning. Have a financial presentation, which of course is going to be a big part of what we can and can't do in 27. Have a financial presentation from Matt, and then following that, after a lunch, do get to the crux of the goal setting. And then, Mayor, I know you had expressed an interest in maybe inviting some of the other elected officials, the school board and the township trustees in, so that could be something that we could do that day at lunch before we got into the goal setting.
Years ago, I don't know if you remember, I think when I think Bosley was elected again as a township treasurer, he had mentioned about having a get-together, and so I just suggested if, like, nothing ever happened. But I didn't know if it would be worth, you know, if we were already getting together, you know, kind of in a team building type session, you know, with department heads, inviting the other elected officials, just kind of giving a city update, you know, kind of what we're looking forward to, what we're accomplishing this year, looking in how we could work together and partner, you know, in the rest of the year and the following, so. Yeah. At least
So
extend the invitation.
What I can do is talk to the president of the trustee board and then talk to Michelle Schaefer and find out what their interest is. If the interest exceeds a quorum, I think they would probably just have to facilitate a public meeting on their own. But at any rate, it's certainly possible. I'll gauge what the interest is from both those organizations.
Okay.
Face-to-face conversation on protecting 44641.
That's right. That's right.
And I believe I did remind you of the chamber dinner on February 19th, and then the RPC dinner in March on the 11th. And I believe that is all I have.
Okay. Any questions for Andy? So, all right. Rod?
Thank you, Mayor. I have nothing new to report. Business is as usual with the weather.
Very good.
Nothing major happened.
Awesome. So, no news is good news.
Yep.
All right, Dave.
Mayor, Council, unfortunately, I don't have any savings to report tonight.
Take note.
Try better next time.
I'm really gonna work hard for that. No, I don't have any for an update tonight, Mayor.
Thanks for the conversation today, Dave. Appreciate it.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Daryl.
Thank you, Mayor. I don't really have anything else either. It snows, we go clean it up. Same old, same old.
That might be the understatement of the year.
Yeah.
It's past week.
Yeah. Just thanks again to your guys. I mean I don't know how they do it, but I mean it's true. Our roads are cleared off. It's always the best.
Yeah, I think it's I actually went out Sunday for a little while with the guys and drove around. These guys know this city inside and out, and just to follow them around. And so the neighborhood over by where you guys are, Brian Coon's over in that area a lot of times, and he just, I mean, it's pitch black out there, and he's just buzzing around in there and takes care of it. So I think it's nice that Chief helped us out plowing snow too, so he was out there with us. I think that's probably, I think that's, in all seriousness, that's what it is it's all hands on deck. Everybody that's willing and able jumps in and helps out, so it works out well.
I know even Tuesday we had to run out, Belden Village area, and the roads were not as good out there as, when I left home. So credit to you guys.
Thank you.
All right, Chief.
Nothing new, Mayor. Nothing new, but they did a great job. We didn't have any issues at all. And they offered to take us on calls if we couldn't get there, so we were we were well taken care of. But yeah.
And I appreciate the police putting out the post about, if people's, heaters are good. Did anybody take you up on that? Or where heat failed?
We had some phone calls just about like if there was an emergency, where they were to go, and that we had offered we would take them to shelter, or we even discussed opening the Constitution Center if we needed to. So we had a plan, but it was not needed, thankfully.
Good.
So how do we do overall with the parking ban? Cars pretty much off the streets.
So talking to the guys, they said that it was probably half of what it normally is. And I'll be honest, usually that's a big issue for these guys around here. But all in all, people did pretty well getting their cars out of the way and stuff. We still had some. We still had a decent amount out there, but talking to the guys when they came in, it was like, it's probably about half of what it normally is. So
all it takes is a foot of snow.
Well, yeah. I'm sure they were not happy trying to get them out of there, but
I saw a comment from somebody I was going to wait, ask you, where they said they're like a car that hasn't been moved in over a year or something. I think they said Walnut. I just didn't know if that was the case, like, is that something we can take care of? Or I mean, ticket. Yeah, I mean, first of all, I think we do a great job. We give verbal warnings, sometimes give another warning, and then like ticket. And if they're not moving it, then that's something, at least in my opinion, we need to do for
I'm
them.
not sure that we've run into that a whole lot as far as there's maybe, trying to think of.
Certainly not saying that whoever complained isn't accurate, but I'm not familiar with.
Yeah, nobody's called us on it.
Okay.
Generally, if there's a car that's been somewhere that too long, when we go out, they automatically move it, and we never really hear anything back, but.
I had never seen it. I just saw it, commented, and I just didn't know how much of a problem that was.
I can't think of an instance where that came to be.
Great. All right, Matt?
Thank you, Mayor. I do have a little bit of I guess we'll call it a presentation to give tonight regarding House Bill 503, which is currently with the Ohio House Ways and Means Committee. There is a deadline of tomorrow morning. They like to give you a lot of time to prepare testimony. I intend to, or I'd like to submit opponent testimony on the bill, and I would like to sort of read the letter that I've drafted first, and then I'll be happy to discuss it, take any questions, and ultimately asking for a motion from council, essentially your blessing to go ahead and submit this. Chair Romer, Vice Chair Thomas, Ranking Member Troy, and members of the Ohio House Judiciary Committee, thank you for the opportunity to provide testimony regarding House Bill 503. My name is Matt Bupp, and I am the Finance Director of the City of Louisville in Stark County. I have serious concerns with House Bill 503 in its current form and the potential impact it would have on the ability of a bedroom community such as Louisville to maintain necessary public services. Additionally, I believe it undermines the authority vested in our elected officials by the voters to properly respond to changing financial landscapes. While I understand the arguments about statewide competitiveness and compliance burdens, I do not believe that these issues are directly addressed by the bill, particularly not in a way that is meaningful enough to outweigh these concerns. The City of Louisville is heavily reliant on the flexibility and reciprocity tax credits to fund its operations. Currently, the city allows a credit of 60% for taxes paid to other municipalities. If this flexibility was lost, we estimate that we could lose somewhere around $1.6 million per year, which represents 19% of our funding in the general fund. This would have a catastrophic impact on our ability to maintain police, fire, and EMS services, as well as keep up with maintenance of our roads and facilities, all of which rely on the general fund for their operations. The loss of these services could also impact our ability to attract economic development opportunities. The voters have put their faith in our elected officials to maintain or to manage budgets and be good stewards of public funds, and they must have the necessary flexibility in order to facilitate the services that our residents rely upon. This is especially true at this moment in time where there are significant concerns regarding the future of property tax funding across the state, which represents a further 9.5% of Louisville's general fund. Thus, House Bill 503 represents another level of uncertainty in the ability of elected officials to align services with residents' expectations. In conclusion, House Bill 503 undermines the ability of municipalities to practice responsible management of fiscal resources. At a minimum, it represents an unnecessary additional step and roadblock in the legislative process. However, it has the potential to substantially damage the City of Louisville's ability to provide necessary services to its citizens. As a result, the City of Louisville respectfully urges you to vote no on House Bill 503 in its current form. Thank you for your consideration.
So the way I understand this is that on a kind of a broad scale, we're just talking about they're taking away local control from your local government. It's kind of been a trend.
Yes, this is certainly not the first instance of that, you're right, and probably won't be the last either.
And hypothetically, I mean, it's something I talked about last year, that after we have City Hall done and we see what the property taxes what they do with that at the state level, if we then would not have the ability to, let's say, if we wanted to take that earned income tax credit from 60 to 65%, we would not have the ability to vote on that, correct?
It has been amended since it was originally introduced, where council would maintain the ability to increase it,
Okay.
but not to repeal it or further lower it or any other such thing.
Okay.
And opens it up to
And with
initiatives.
the property tax issue still kind of hanging out there, it just seems like a bad time to be putting handcuffs on local government when there's the potential of losing a substantial amount of property tax.
Yeah.
That's the issue hanging over everybody's head with whether it's schools or local government or anything else, so.
There are certainly other forms of government where that issue would affect them far worse than it would us, but we would be dramatically affected by a ballot initiative that eliminated property tax.
Other questions?
I think you covered it,
Yeah.
Corey. Matt, do you need a motion that says that council opposes House Bill 503, or would you just like us to have a motion that approves of your letter?
I guess either kind of solves both. I guess either kind of solves the issue. That the crux of it is that the intention is to submit this, to the Judiciary Committee on behalf of the city.
Okay.
And as finance director, I would appreciate the backing of council one way or the other before I decide to do that.
Well, I would make the motion then that the council does oppose House Bill 503 and that we do approve of Matt Buck's letter.
Second that. Aljancic,
Yes.
Gadone,
Yes.
McAllister Atkins,
Yes.
Street.
Yes.
Thank you. Appreciate your time.
Thank you.
Thanks, Matt.
Okay. Anything else to go to the order? All right. I believe our next council meeting is going to be on a Tuesday, correct, due to President's Day?
Yeah.
So look forward to meeting on the 17th, 6 o'clock at the fire station. And till then, meeting's adjourned. Thank you for coming.